up with a little...
There's a wee message here. Do I click on this? Got it?
Yep, it's okay. No, you're fine. Unless somebody messages, yes, we will. I will keep an eye on that anyway. Right. Good morning, everybody. That's us alive now. Alan, good morning, everybody. We're having coffee. You got your coffee, Alan?
Coffee in hand, yes, Leigh, as usual.
Where's your coffee? You've got your coffee. Stay caffeinated, as we always say.
Essential.
Yeah. So we're here. What we're going to do is we're going to investigate a little bit more about Curaprox today. So if you're new to Talking Teeth Thursday, we tend to hang out on a Thursday and pretty much talk teeth. And if you've got a topic you want to hear about, just search on the Facebook page, because you might find we've covered it somewhere along the way, but otherwise we're always open to ideas. But this morning, what we're going to do is we're going to find out a little bit more about Curaprox, the brand. We're going to find out a bit more about the products, because it's not necessarily one that you as a consumer will be that familiar with. Your dental professional may well have recommended it, and you may go, why? So let's find out from the person that knows. So tell us a little bit about Curaprox, Alan, please.
Okay, so Curaprox, Curaden is the parent company. It's based in Cuyens in Switzerland. Curaprox is the brand. Everyone probably knows it as Curaprox, but it's Curaden is the company. And we're probably going to do more of that Curaden branding. But the history of the company, it goes back to the 1950s. It's a family-owned business. It's a global business. I think we're present in 80 countries around the world. We've got a bigger presence in probably America and the Eastern Bloc countries of Europe, and we're well known there, and we're building the brand up nicely in UK and Ireland. But the history of the company really started with ID brushes, Interdental brushes, progressed from there, and over the last 50 odd years we've developed a whole portfolio of oral care products, which are made in Switzerland. So the Swiss heritage we're very proud of. That sort of stands for quality, a good quality premium product, and we're very proud of that. So we've been around probably 60 odd years, and UK and Ireland, I would say our presence has been around the last 15 years, and we're building the brand up very nicely. Our best selling product globally is the CS5460 brush, ultra soft brush.
Is that my favorite one? See, this
yes.
is even I have to ask, is that my favorite one?
That brush is, in some countries, actually gone beyond being a toothbrush. It's become a cult product. Would you believe?
Seriously?
Yes, it really has. Particularly in the Eastern Europe, they go mad for this product. And I think it's as much for the colors as it is for the quality of the product itself. So we're very proud of our colors. We're known for our colors as well, because we're trying to make oral hygiene a bit more exciting, making brushing your teeth a bit more exciting. Because let's face it, most people see oral hygiene as a drudge they have to do every day. And we're trying to make it a bit more exciting, because if you engage with something visually, whatever the product is, you connect with it and you enjoy it and you use it better. And that's why we have these nice bright colors. So if that gives you a bit of a flavor of the company, our message, our key message is improving health through oral hygiene. That's what we're trying to do. So sorry, Leigh?
No, I'm saying, that's one of the reasons why I'm so attracted to Curaprox. Apart from, it's just because education is just so key. Because that's what Growing Smiles is all about, is helping people help themselves.
That's what we try to do. So we sell products, but we want to sell them with a message about why you need to use this product, how you need to use this product, and how it will improve your oral health. And if you improve your oral health, funnily, like your general health will generally be improved as well. I don't think most people don't understand the mouth is a gateway to the rest of the body, and poor oral health can affect general health, and vice versa. Other conditions can affect oral health. It could be an indicator of something else going on in your body. So we very much focus on the mouth with our products. We've got a whole portfolio from baby to denture care, specialized products like the dry mouth products and Enzycal. So if you got an oral health care need, we generally cater for it, and we're quite proud of that. All the products must meet 3 pillars. They must be acceptable to the healthcare professional, acceptable to the patient. They must be atraumatic, i.e. they must not cause any trauma in the mouth. They must actually do the actual opposite of that. They must be nice and gentle to use. and they must be effective at what they're designed to do. So all our products must meet those 3 pillars. So that's very important.
You see, I learned something new too.
Well, I'm glad to hear that, Mrs. Hunter. I'm very glad to hear that. And I was of use to you today.
Oh, no. Well, one of the things, I mean, how did you sort of, I mean, we've known each other a long time, more years than either of us probably care to be reminded of.
Yep.
But it's interesting, your journey into dentistry and into oral health has been really quite interesting, hasn't it?
It has, yes. From my first passion, cars, and ending up in teeth by happy circumstance. Actually, if you look back in your life and look back in my life, everything that's happened to you has been, another person has affected that. And I fell into dentistry by a friendship of a mentor and my second dad, I suppose. Started off in Stafford Miller, Sensodyne, all those years ago, because this gentleman had the distributorship in Northern Ireland for Sensodyne, and I ended up in the company, and then obviously GSK came around, it took over Sensodyne. Curaprox came about 4 years ago, again through Sensodyne. A former colleague wanted me to go and help her out and work with her in Curaprox. She needed, the business had got so big, she needed help with the team and the company, and I was headhunted by a former colleague, and here we are 4 years later. So yeah, it's been an interesting journey when you reflect on it, and good fun.
Yeah, and your role is very much about training salespeople, isn't it? Training the team who take the stuff out.
Yeah, so I wear a few hats. My role in the company is probably quite unique because of geography, working in this little island we all live on and love. So my title is Country Manager Ireland, but whatever that means, sounds very grand. But basically, I'm responsible for everything in Ireland. So that will be dental practices, our top sort of dental practices, who I will not just sell the products into, but train the staff up on the products they stock, so they can have a conversation with the patient, so the patient knows why they are being recommended that product. That is to improve their oral health. So we make sure we train all our customers up. The distributorship side of things, I'm also responsible for the wholesale business and distributor business across Ireland. So yes, their sales teams, I would train their sales staff up on the products so they can go out and talk about it with confidence to their customers. I work closely with their marketing teams as well, because they're obviously have their marketing side of things. E-commerce, I help support those functions, and obviously with you, Leigh, as well, your e-commerce side of things. So there's a marketing side to this as well. And I also look after pharmacy, which was something new to me. So I set up and developed the whole pharmacy business across Ireland. So we're now in retail pharmacy, more in Republic of Ireland. They've got a nice high footfall and presence in pharmacy in Ireland. So yeah, I wear many hats, and it's a busy old job, but it's good fun. But yes, training and education.
It's a bit like myself.
Yeah. Training and education, that's my passion, and I think it's critical for the success of anything you do is training and education. And we want to make sure that healthcare professionals can pass that message on to patients, so the patients can go home and know how to look after their own oral health.
Well, here we were chatting yesterday when I bent your arm to join me as me last minute, Leigh. I mean, it was like the story of my life. But we were chatting about how many dental professionals really don't know the benefits of Curaprox, their range of products, or they may know the 5460, but they may not know some of the other parts of their range, and what you can offer both. I mean, professional. I mean, if you ever had healthcare professionals who are involved in mouth care take on board any of your training, so sort of maybe palliative care providers and things like that, would they ever get involved? It's just interesting because I know about iTops and
we do. We I think COVID killed a few things off for everybody. We are looking more into that. I know we've done some work with academia on denture care. on nursing homes. We dipped our toe into that last year. So yes, it's something we're looking at, because we do have a range of products for end of life care or compromised patients at nursing homes who can't care for themselves. So we are looking into doing that. The difficulty there is changing mindsets of those institutions. That's a tricky one. So yes, we can support health. I know you're doing some work with nursing homes, and that piece. We're going to be involved in a project in Belfast that Jerry McCann is running on a nursing home study, and trying to focus in on improving the oral health of nursing home residents, because it's just not a focus area, and I think it's really, really important.
And yet it's an issue that 50 years ago wasn't an issue at all, because if anybody ended up in residential care, I mean, at number one, we're living longer and we're retaining our teeth.
Yes.
And as we're retaining our teeth for longer, so many people have very complex plaque retentive features. So in other words, there's lots of things in their mouth that bacterial plaque sticks around. So they'll maybe have a partial denture, whereas 50 years ago they maybe have full denture. So you just took them out, cleaned the dentures, put them back in. Now getting to partial dentures out, we were talking about this the other day, of carers being confident enough to take partial dentures out and clean them and then get them back in securely. Cleaning every surface of the tooth, putting hands in patients' mouths are all really challenging. But can I go back a step? I want to ask you a minute, why would somebody go online? I mean, we carry all sorts of brands, and you know how picky I am about the stock that we have in the online shop. So why would somebody want to maybe switch to a 5460 or another toothbrush within the
Well, let's take our best seller, the 5460. The whole ethos behind that, it's the CS 5460 Ultra Soft, and it's designed very specifically to do a good job but not cause trauma. If I strip that back, 5460 is a number. What does it actually mean? Well, there's 5,460 filaments in that brush head. Okay, so that the number actually means something. What is the significance of that number? Well, if you take another normal toothbrush, the number of filaments in 5460 is roughly 5 to 10 times greater. What does that mean? More filaments, finer filaments packed in there, you get a very dense cleaning surface, and that means more filaments in better contact with the tooth and gum surface. What is that doing? It's removing plaque and food debris and biofilm more effectively, but because they're softer, it's not causing any trauma on the gingival tissues, because most patients either brush too hard, or if they have established inflammation and disease, they don't brush the area as well as they should, because the brush they have is probably too hard and it's too painful. So it's a pretty universal brush, whether your oral hygiene's brilliant or whether your oral hygiene is not great, whether you're over brushing, whether you're under brushing. The whole point of that product is to do a lot more work in removing biofilm and plaque to improve your baseline oral hygiene, but not cause any excess trauma. And you really don't have to think about it. You just put the brush in, do your mini scrubs, and let the brush, you'll feel the bristles doing the work because of the density of the cleaning surface. You'll feel that doing the work for you. So go ahead, Leigh.
Great. Yeah, no, sorry, I interrupted there. Now I want you to take me to the next level, which I have lifted a 5460 and have lifted a velvet out, and I'm trying to get it that, see, if I take it nearer the actual camera, it doesn't show it that well. I'm trying to go. But the difference, this is the very new, this is your newest brush, isn't it?
Yes, if you thought 5,460 filaments wasn't enough, well, we can help you out there. So the CS 12460 velvet brush, we launched a while back. Basically,
the colors aren't great to show.
No, it's all right. It's okay. Don't worry. So the 12460, I don't think there's anything else like it on the market, to be honest. Who's it for? I guess it's just going to the next level again of being atraumatic and cleaning really, really effectively, but gently.
It's what Yeah, I find it's the surface area, isn't it? So you have that many more bristles
Yeah, yeah,
on the velvet. So your surface area, it's actually, I wish people could just put their finger in the screen and feel that, because it is actually incredibly soft.
yeah.
And yet, I mean, I've used it and I'm actually really amazed how effective that is, because because you've got so much more bristles. When you put it into the mouth along the gum line, you're getting much better surface coverage. So it's actually, that bit better, so you can get it sort of tooth and gum and actually get it where you need it to go to, and all that aspect of it. So it's really effective. So no, I have to say I'm impressed by the velvets.
I would think probably as well, because they're finer and there's more of them. They're probably, anybody's got a bit of overcrowding going on, or it's just not uniform. The gingival surface around the teeth isn't just, you got a bit of misaligned teeth, malocclusion, and that brush is probably getting into those little nooks and crannies a bit more effectively as well. That doesn't substitute, of course, using ID brushes and single tufted. Yeah, if you can just demo that,
Yeah,
Mr. Hunter. Yeah.
I tried, please, so I can get in there.
You can
Yeah,
see
it
it
does. And
penetrating
even
in there. Yeah,
for
you can
some
see it.
people, you can go that way, it's better.
Yeah, so you can see the whole point of that is just to penetrate those areas more effectively and remove more plaque and biofilm. You didn't have to think
Yeah.
about it. You just go. Obviously, technique's important as well. And on that point, actually, I have one of my top tips for oral health.
Right. Go.
Hold your brush like you're holding a pen. Okay.
It's a good one.
So you're going, what is this guy talking about? Right. Well, if you try that out, you will actually, by default, holding it like that, you will take the pressure off.
I'm going to find one. Hold on. I'm going to find one I
right.
can do this with for you.
So you would take the pressure off, so it'll reduce your risk of brushing too hard. And because you're holding it like that, you really cannot scrub.
Yeah, so that movement automatically goes out the window.
You're forcing yourself to clean more precisely and better, and without scrubbing. So the benefit of that is you're getting a better clean, more precise clean. By doing that, you'll spend more time automatically brushing your teeth. So you'll do a better job, but also you're causing less trauma to your gums.
Yeah, so you can't put that's a really, really good tip. And you know something, it's one of those things that I often forget about. And I think professionals, anyway, it's like the certain things that professionals forget to say because we assume everybody knows it. So it's like, you don't need to wet your toothbrush, you don't need a bucket load of toothpaste, spit out after brushing, but don't rinse, but that one's a really, how do you actually hold your toothpaste? And I tend to always focus, you can tell whether people are right-handed or left-handed, depending, as they flick their toothbrush around, they'll tend to miss the corners of their mouth. But doing that also actually makes that action much more difficult to miss teeth.
Correct.
When you're holding it. That's a brilliant tip, Alan. Thank you very much. Really good tip, that.
Do you want my other? I'm going to give you 2 tips for free today.
I know, hold on. Yeah, okay, right. Go. Yes, give us your second one.
So, close your eyes while you're brushing your teeth.
Brilliant one. Yeah, very true. All good eye stuff, this.
Close your eyes while you're brushing your teeth, and I'll tell you how that, for reasons best known to myself, I've taught myself to shave without using a mirror. And I can do that without using a mirror. I'm
going to have a good look at you and see if there's any wee bits
that
never stuck to you.
So if you equate that to brushing, if you remove one of your senses, the other senses step up and are more heightened. So your tactile senses will feel that brush. You'll be imagining in your head what that brush is doing in your mouth, and that will give you more focus. So hold it like a pen and close your eyes, give it a go, and I guarantee you'll spend more time automatically and your mouth will feel cleaner. Guarantee it.
I must put a post up about that later, because that's a really good one. I used to do a thing with kids in schools in the days when we used to do face-to-face stuff, and I used to say to them, if you got them to bring their toothbrushes in, to actually close their eyes and imagine what focus on what the tooth feels like, what your mouth feels like, the saliva, is it warm, is it wet, is it all that stuff. But then actually adding a toothbrush into that is even more important. And I think with that, you know, it's useful to do that without putting any toothpaste on the first time.
Yeah.
And then running your tongue around your teeth so you can actually feel what I always talk about, feeling the clean. So the toothbrush actually, so your teeth actually feel clean. And it's not the toothpaste that's done the work, it's the toothbrush bristles that have actually done the work for you. I think we often forget that, and people can get very focused on toothpaste. And I mean, you know, and I know the main purpose of toothpaste, apart from the nice flavor and all the rest of it, is to get the active ingredients around that. Can you tell me a wee bit about your Enzycal 1450 toothpaste, which you know I like, where
Yes.
I have some, oh, you have some. This is where my domino effect possibly knocks in. No, we're all right. So this
Enzycal is, we basically market this for patients whose mouth probably is more susceptible to irritation. There may be underlying health problems, and it's one of the symptoms is the mouth is affected by irritation, redness, bleeding. So Enzycal, in the clues in the name, basically, it contains an artificial enzyme system that mimics the enzymes in your saliva. Okay. So those patients who have a compromised mouth, generally because of a medical problem, or maybe they've had oral cancer, head and neck radiotherapy, and they've been through that successfully, but their saliva hasn't fully recovered, or they've got a general underlying problem medically.
So their mouth is compromised in some form, or they're increased risk.
Yes, and normal toothpastes can be irritant to them, or they could have allergies. Be very healthy, but have allergies, and normal toothpastes can cause redness, irritation, soreness, ulcers, and therefore their oral health maybe gets a bit forgotten about because they just can't bear normal toothpaste. So Enzycal comes at it from a few different angles. The enzyme system helps maintain some of the bacterial balance in the mouth for those patients whose mouth's compromised. It's very gentle in its feel and flavour. It's very benign as well.
I'm going to interrupt you there because I purposely just tasted that again, because sometimes I taste so many toothpastes in a week I forget what this really is. Very, very nice. It's very pleasant, this taste of this.
Yeah, it's designed to taste nice, but obviously not be as strong as normal toothpaste. The other benefit of this is it's SLS free. Now, what is SLS? SLS, sodium lauryl sulfate, is a generic detergent foaming agent, and most patients can tolerate it, but it can cause problems in the mouth. It can present as irritation, redness, an extreme ulceration, aphthous ulceration, and that means those patients, normal toothpaste are a no-no for those patients, particularly those patients who have maybe dry mouth problems or have poor saliva flow. So the Enzycal,
anybody that has, sorry, Alan, anybody that has any ulcers, the first thing that I would always recommend is that they make sure their toothpaste is SLS free.
Yes, and all our toothpastes are SLS free. That's something we really really focus in on. All our toothpastes are SLS free, and I think as things develop, most toothpaste will probably end up being SLS free. But getting back to Enzycal, anybody can use it. No, anybody can use it, but it's designed for those patients who have a compromised mouth or they're more sensitive to normal toothpastes. So it'll actually help. Brilliant. Is that okay?
Oh, that's more than okay. Yeah, no, I think it's certain there's products. I think sometimes people come on, maybe on the website, clients, it's easier when I'm talking to patients and clients because you're interacting with them directly. When people come on to the online shop and Growing Smiles, they'll go into the toothpaste and they may know that they need something that's non-foaming or SLS free, but then they have options beyond that. I think it's great, and one of the things I want to do over the brand sort of highlights over the next coming months is to sort of basically say, well, you know, this is what you would be looking for in relation to that type of product. Can I ask you about something else, please? Just, you know, I am a fan of the Hydrosonic Pro.
Yes.
Now, tell me what I mean. I personally, I like the shape of this, but I always find if you want to know about how to maximize the benefit of anything, you ask the person who sells it or knows the brand or owns the brand, because otherwise I know how to use this, and Alan and I have debated this so many times over the years. I'll tell you what to do with it, but as to actually all the intricacies of the ins and outs and all the all singing, all dancing, well, you need to actually ask the person who manufactures it or sells it or, you know, understands it. So tell me about the Hydrosonic Pro, please.
Right, Hydrosonic Pro is one of our top electric brush offering. We launched it 4 years ago. So we're famed for our manual brushes, of course we are, but a lot of patients prefer to use an electric brush, and a lot of healthcare professionals like to recommend an electric brush. So the Hydrosonic Pro is our offering. The filaments and the brush heads are the same as the manual toothbrushes, so that's the link there. So they're patented cure and design filaments. They're soft, gentle, effective, nice teardrop shaped head for accessing all areas of the mouth. We also have a single tufted head there, which I think it's the only electric brush to offer a single tufted head. Yes. What's that for? That's for more precise cleaning around the gum line or in and around restorations or orthodontic appliances. So
yeah, I find that is particularly good for anybody who has implant, and particularly implant retained prosthesis. Yeah. So if you've got a denture that has been added, so say you've no teeth at all, and you've decided that you want your new teeth to sit on implants that you'll be able to take them out, but they're really secure. So you maybe have sort of implants in maybe 3, 4 or 6 places, top and bottom, and then your denture sits on top of that. See, when you take the plate out to clean that, that's one thing. Yeah. But this is brilliant for getting round that long standing, that one little post, that little magnetic clip or whatever it is. And that's where I think that's really good. Ortho patients, absolutely mind-blowing. And that brings me on, because the other thing that I do with that is solo toothbrushing.
Yes.
But with a powered aspect to it. So tell me a wee bit about solo toothbrushing.
This is part of our iTop, which is our professional education program we run. So we're really all about oral health, cleaning better, etc., etc. And your toothbrush does a great job, but we call this solo technique, where you get the single tufted, and this is the same head as the single tufted on the Hydrosonic Pro, and you actually go right down to the margin where your gum meets your tooth, and you do a really precise clean along that margin to just stimulate that tissue, remove any little bits of biofilm and plaque that maybe haven't been removed by the brush, and any inflammation that's there. It'll help reduce that if you're cleaning it around over a number of weeks. So that solo technique is a more focused clean of the gum margin and the tooth surface to really get in there, give you a good deep clean, and keep that area free of plaque and food debris. On the Hydrosonic Pro, if you're using that single tufted head, put the brush on the slowest speed. Okay, put it on there's 7 speeds in that Hydrosonic Pro. When you're using the single tufted, get it down to the lowest speed, and then just hold it, move it very slowly and gently, and let the brush do the work.
It's brilliant. I love the solo technique. Many years ago, and I still see this lady, but she used to say, I mean, I don't use a toothbrush, and I used to go horrified. And she says, I use one of those wee what was it? I can't remember what the name she gives it. One of those wee pen-like jobbies. I think that was what she called it originally. That was a very highly technical term, but she sits when she's watching Coronation Street, and I have told so many people this over the years. And she sits and she literally cleans, and it's actually a solo toothbrushing technique. She takes the single tufted, she's watching Coronation Street, and off she goes, right the way around her mouth, totally dry, no toothpaste. And then what she'll do is put toothpaste on before she goes to bed, or give them a quick brush with a normal brush. But I've never worked out what she used to do in the omnibus edition at the weekend, but that was another story. But she did that, and plaque control wise, amazing. And I think a lot of it was tied down to the specificity, is that a word? How specifically the single tufted brush can reach the area and the time that she then spent. So, I mean, you know me, I'm always going on about people spending longer brushing their teeth and taking their time to do it well.
If you think back to that lady, she actually wasn't, she was watching TV. So if if you think that, equate that back to closing your eyes and brushing, that is in essence what she was doing. She was focusing on one thing, and automatically her other senses kicked in to allow her to brush her teeth at the same time. So that closing your eyes thing, I think, is a really good tip.
Yeah, great tips that, you know, of taking your time, closing your eyes and holding the toothbrush like this. I'll take a photograph of that and put that up later on for you. I mean, it just seems so simple, but it's so effective. Just by taking more time to clean, you will clean more effectively.
Right.
Pardon?
I said just two little simple changes make such a huge difference.
It does. The other thing I want to ask you about is your interdental brushes, okay? Because a lot of people, I mean, it was one of the reasons we were talking earlier in the week, because we were trying to work out sizes in comparison to TPs, because the majority of people, when they think interdental brushes, I mean, people just tend to go TP, and almost the term interdental brush and TP are interchangeable. That is the only option, and they aren't the only option. And one of the things that I particularly like about the Curaprox range, I mean, I do like TPs, and I've got loads of TPs on the site and recommend them regularly. But one of the things I like about this is that you can change the heads, and you cut down the amount of waste. And better still, if you can go for one of the metal handles and then just the refills. I'm trying to get it over there because it looks better there.
Our range of interdentals, there's many of them, but the first 5 sizes, it's called the prime range, and that will cover the majority of normal spaces a healthcare professional will encounter. So those are designed to be easy to use. The wire is finer but stronger, so it's more resistant to bending and buckling. That allows for a greater cleaning radius of the filaments, so they actually fill that interproximal space better and give you a deeper clean. They're softer, more gentle. The other thing is, as Leigh points out, is the plastic footprint is waste footprint's much less, because whatever handle you have there, you keep the handle, just dispose of the refills, and then just buy refills to replace. And there's a click.
So I've just taken the pink head off there, and I'm putting the yellow one on.
And any color will fit any color refill fits any color of the handle. I have the new metal handle, Leigh, the one certainly the new
yes. I'm wondering where I put it somewhere, but hold on a second, because I'll run and get it. Hold on, I know where it is here. Stop laughing at me. In best Blue Peter fashion, one I made earlier.
So that's our new metal handle. Any of our interproximal refills will fit that handle. It's essentially a handle for life. You buy that once, and all you have to buy after that are the refills. So all you're throwing away is a little refill, and you keep the handle. So we are starting our journey on sustainability.
I think everybody's working towards that. It's not always that easy to do, but there you go. I've just put a head into the new handle versus the old.
And also you find our interproximal brushes will last a lot longer as well because of that stronger wire. So again, you're using less of them. We're very, very proud of that.
Yeah, I mean, which totally makes sense. I think the big thing that I think so many people are now becoming much more conscious of, particularly with interdental brushes, is the amount of throwaway plastic waste. And the bottom line is that, you know, plastic is still the most hygienic product. Nylon's still the most hygienic product. And one of the things that Eden, I mean, you're seeing a lot of people popping up, a lot of brands popping up that are biodegradable. All of those will still have nylon bristles, and you will need to still remove the head of that toothbrush. No matter, I mean, you need to, I always say to people, look a little bit further that it's probably the handle's compostable, the handle's biodegradable, but you can take 99% chance that I would put money on that the bristles are not, and you will still need to remove that. So I knew something was bound to fall down there.
All part of the fun. All part of the fun.
I know.
Yeah, the other thing, Lee, is just the sizing probe as well. So to make sure you get the right size of ID brush, we have a little probe to actually measure the space and whatever that corresponds with the colors of the brushes. So wherever the probe stops in the space, then if it stops in a pink, then you use the pink, and that pink will fit much more comfortably in there and be nicer to use.
One of the things that we do with our interdental cleaning coaching is we actually send one of these tips on a handle beforehand, before we actually get together. And then what happens is that the client on virtually can actually use this while I'm watching, so we can actually work out together, and it works very well, because then at least they know what size they're looking for and what's going to be effective.
And it's more comfortable, and it's more comfortable, easy to use, and more likely to keep doing it, which is only going to but improve their oral hygiene, which is all the reason why we're all here, is to improve oral hygiene and
improve oral health.
Yeah, absolutely.
Serves our lives, isn't it?
Absolutely. And the mission continues and will continue.
Onwards and upwards. Right. Last question, and thank you very much, because that's been really informative. Right, we know your top tips. So your top tips are hold your toothbrush like a pen, and close your eyes.
Yeah. And
what's your favorite product?
For me, it's probably our Perio Plus chlorhexidine, Perio Plus Regenerate. We know, because it's chlorhexidine has great uses in improving oral health, but there's been no real innovation for the last number of years, and there are downsides to using it for the patient. It doesn't taste very nice, and so compliance can be a bit questionable. And there's a staining risk as well, which patients don't like and clinicians don't like. So we've launched Perio Plus 3 years ago to make it taste nice, so patients will actually want to use it. And then clinically, because it's a clinical product, it's actually going to improve their baseline, reduce their bleeding, inflammation, whatever it may be. And also, this Regenerate is a lower dose. It's not 0.2%, it's 0.09%, but still clinically effective. So there's a few benefits.
They use in the States, isn't it?
Yeah, so there's a few benefits to that. One, your staining risk is much reduced. Two, it doesn't help with the taste. And also, three, you can use it for up to a month. So if you had a perio patient coming in for 2 or 3 visits in a period of 2 or 3 weeks, they can use this in between visits to keep things under control. The other,
it is one of those. Sorry, go on. There's one of those things that best mouthwash use is always best advised from a professional or somebody that's what they're talking about. It is not an alternative to doing the basics well.
And we really that needs to be used under guidance of a healthcare professional. You need to have a rationale for using that, and we very much on that basis. That's why we train everybody up. Any customer who takes the products gets training. You need to use this under certain conditions. Just quickly in this, the other big innovation with Perio Plus is Citrox. Citrox is our own patented natural antibacterial system. It's a bioflavonoid compound, and it kills bacteria naturally. So we're trying to go a bit more down that route. And Citrox together with chlorhexidine, you get a much better synergistic effect. So it's real innovation in chlorhexidine, and we're getting great feedback on it anecdotally. Patients love it, use it, it's improving their baseline.
Yeah, and the other thing that the wee Perio Plus gel's great for that, because you can put that on an interdental brush and use that as well, particularly if there's a lot of bleeding in between your teeth and your certain it's great for that.
And it tastes nice as well, which all
huge benefit.
Absolutely.
Listen, Alan, thank you ever so much for joining me this morning. That's great. I've finished my coffee. I don't know about you. I finished mine, but that's the joys of.
So thank you very much for inviting me along to speak. It's been a real privilege and pleasure, and I hope that you and your people who've tuned in or tuned in at a later date have got something out of it. And please get in touch if you need any more information or questions. I'm happy to help out anybody at any time.
Will do. Always do. You know, I like to be your pest of the West. It is one of those things. I mean, Curaprox is a brand that people may not even be familiar with, and I think it's always good to actually let the people that actually know most about it talk about it. I'll tell you what to do with it.
Yeah.
But actually, for the actually added extras, it's way more beneficial to hear it from you. So thank you very much indeed. Thanks, folks. I know some of you are listening to this later. I know there's been a few people have popped on and off here. So thank you for listening. And we'll be back next Thursday. And dear knows what we'll be talking about then. But we'll be back. It's Thursday and we talk teeth on a Thursday here. Thanks ever so much. Thanks, Alan.
Have a lovely Easter break. Take care. Bye-bye.
Yes, you too. Bye.